So I'm walking, and I don't know what the rules are because I'm not a dog owner. I haven't had a dog since I was a child, so I just don't know what's the rule. But like, if you see, like, obviously the dog take a shit and the owner doesn't pick it up, like, do you say something? Do you be like, yo, pick up that shit, literally? But yeah, what's the rules on that? Like, do you say anything or you just let it go? How you guys doing? Today's day 22 out of 75 hard. Before I get started, I feel like this outfit that I'm wearing, this, I don't know, it's like a grayish purple, but like with this pink, it kind of reminds me of that Twix yogurt that they used to have. It had like a purplish pink together. That flavor was actually delicious. They didn't bring that back. But today is the last quote for this journal book. I've had this journal book. My first quote, my fault, was in January 11th, 2023. Now, like, all these quotes I have, I use this book first for to write down assignments in middle school for my like A block and B block, but then I turned it into a quote book. And today's the last quote, so let's kick it off. Bad things do happen. How I respond to them defines my character and the quality of my life. I can choose to sit in perpetual sadness, immobilized by the gravity of my loss, or I can choose to rise from the pain and treasure the most precious gift I have, life itself, by Walter Anderson. This is a very powerful quote. The way I understood it is, yes, bad things do happen in your life. There is no way around it. Unfortunately, someone close to you is going to pass away. That is part of life, and you are going to have bad moments. But in those moments, you have to decide, am I going to let this define who I am, or am I going to rise from this occasion? And also too, like, yes, bad things happen, and this gives you moments of appreciation of life, and be like, wow, like, not taking life for granted. Like, think about when you get sick, when you just have a stuffy nose, you're like, damn, I wish I could breathe properly. Like, so enjoy each moment because life is precious. That's the way I understood the quote. Let me know in the comments. So I'm gonna read you guys my first 3 quotes that I ever wrote in this book. So the first one was, put your heart, mind, and soul into even your smallest acts. This is the secret of success, by Swami Sivananda. A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life, by Charles Darwin. And my personal favorite, this is the one that really put a crack into my self-development, is no one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. Buddha. I actually have that in my wallet. But yeah, those are the first 3 quotes. This one, the Buddha, is my personal favorite. And I feel like, yeah, this last quote really is a nice send-off for this book. Yeah, so for today's reading, one of the things I don't like with paperbacks is that they do this with the covers. And I'm just more of a hardcover type of guy because, yeah, just not a big fan of this. But for today's reading, actually, what I forgot to mention in the previous readings was that there was a study where I can't remember if they count the passes or how many shots they were making, but there was a gorilla that walked in the background, and they asked the observers, like, hey, like, did you notice the gorilla? And the majority of them were like, no. So it just shows that if you're really not paying attention, or you're too focused in one area, you miss a lot of details. But yeah, so for today's reading, he was talking about how the limbic system reacts to the world like instantaneously. Like, this is where we process emotions. So he says, therefore it is axiomatic that limbic behaviors are honest and reliable behaviors. They are true manifestations of our thoughts, feelings, and intentions. Axiomatic, if you don't know, it means unquestionable. But it's just talking about like how like a behavior can react, how you see a reaction. So like for example, the millennial bomber, right? Like a cop saw how nervous and how he was excessively sweating, and pulled him over, questioned him, and then later found that there was explosives in the car. But then it talks about our responses, basically like the 3 F's. So a lot of times we've heard fight or flight, right? But we don't say freezing, right? Because the 3 F's is freezing, fight, or flight. And when it talks about freezing, which I only got to, which is actually like, when he said it, I was like, okay, it makes sense. Where the freeze response, it's been with us since the beginning of time. And it's not even just us humans that do it, like other animals do it, because movement attracts attention. By immediately holding still upon sensing a threat, the limbic brain causes us to react in the most effective manner possible to ensure survival. Right? So a lot of times predators react to movement. So if you just freeze, they don't notice that you're invisible. Right? A lot of times, what like shoplifters would do is like they would try to like hide their movement, and they would try to stop moving, hunch over like this. This is in theory trying to make you look invisible, right? Because it is, at the end of the day, it's like a survival response, where it's just like you either freeze, flight, or fight, right? Let me see, yeah. Oh, okay, so like the way he gave an example for freezing is that his family was eating dinner, and it's not a normal thing for their doorbell to ring. It's actually very rare. So like when they heard the doorbell, every single person froze. They were like, because they didn't know what was happening. And so it's just like, it's just a response. It's kind of crazy. And then you notice this, and you can like react to the situation better. Like another thing that he was saying, that for the freeze response is when he was talking to a criminal. He had his hands behind his back, but like the way his feet were positioned, the way that they were frozen, he noticed he was like distressed, or like he's just like uncomfortable. So he kept like pursuing those questions in that area. For today's skating, it wasn't the best, but you know what, I had fun while doing it, so that was a plus. For today's workout, I just was just running outside, running and walking, because just unfortunately we couldn't hit legs today because Jay has to stay late with work, so just did a whole outdoor workout for both. But yeah, today's was a great day, and good, excited for day 23. Have a good one.